Welcome back. My name is Patrick Nolan. I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Missouri. This is Pat Talks Law, Windshield Time. Attorneys get into weird discussions. Okay, a discussion I was having with a prosecutor I know recently. We were talking about some weird laws and questioning how those laws came about. For example, in Missouri, we have a statute that makes it illegal to have sex with a dead animal. Okay? This is Chapter 566.111. Okay? It is a sex crime, and it is illegal to have sex with a dead animal. And you have to wonder how that law came about. Because usually, for some extreme laws, somebody had to have done something, and then they say, you know what, we need to make that illegal. That needs to be illegal. So, we've not done any research on this. I'm just sitting in the car talking. But you have to wonder, who is the person that they decided they needed to make it illegal to have sex with a dead animal? Who is the person behind that? I mean, I'm just going to hazard a guess and say I'm pretty sure it was a guy. The person was male. I'm going to guess that the person behind that law is male. So then, continuing this, because defense attorneys and prosecutors have pretty morbid sense of humor at times. It's part of how we deal with some of the crap you have to see and process through. But that brought up the other question is, well, is it illegal to have sex with a dead person, a dead human being? And, we all universally agree, of course, it's got to be illegal. But what law is it? Sex with a dead animal is under the sex offender, sex offenses. It's 566. Under 566, we don't have a statute about having sex with a corpse, a dead body. So we all took just a couple minutes and trolled through our phones real quick and looked and see if we could find something. And in the course of that conversation, we found a Supreme Court case where the court held that it was forcible rape when a death row inmate had sex with the body of a person he had just killed. They considered the rape to be continuation of the assault, so it fell under forcible rape. But again, we didn't find a statute. We discussed desecration of a corpse. Didn't really find that in that brief 5 minutes. Now, one of you is going to go look, and I've not been in front of a computer. One of you is going to go look, you're going to find it right away, and you're going to say, oh, it's Rismo XXXX. Fantastic. Put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. We have an abandonment of a corpse statute, but we didn't immediately find the desecration. Now, the prosecutor's like, there's got to be something. I'm sitting here going, there's got to be something. Surely there's a law against that. But maybe not. I mean, it would take a special kind of twisted to look at a body and say, hey, that's got me feeling kind of randy. No. So there are a lot of weird laws like that. And in the course of researching it, we found the state of Washington has a statute against sex with a dead person. The state of Massachusetts, my understanding, at least from what I'm told, specifically does not. Explains so much. So there are a lot of weird laws out there. Another weird law in Missouri is if a bull or ram is running rampant for 3 days, you can castrate it without liability. If a bull or ram is running rampant for 3 days, anybody can castrate it without liability. Now that law has not been updated in like 100 years. But is it still running rampant if you've tied it down so that you can castrate it? Or have you taken control of it? I think then you've taken control of it. And if you haven't tied it down and you castrate it, you are at once a braver person than anybody I've ever met, and stupider. I mean, I'm gonna guess it's gonna kick you in the head and maybe gore the hell out of you if you don't tie it down. Now, I've never castrated a bull. I can honestly say I've never lived on a farm or had the desire to do that. But I can't see any animal being comfortable with a stranger walking up and castrating it. I can see there being a violent response. And I'm just guessing as a human being that if you tried to do that to some person who was running rampant for 3 days, that they would probably have a violent response too. So, we have a lot of weird laws on the books. And one of the reasons this is important is because there are more than 300,000 federal laws. Really? Really? You just pulled a semi out right in front of me. You can't see this, but I just had to go from doing 60 miles an hour all the way down to 28 because this semi just whipped out in front of me. Ridiculous. Loaded down. You couldn't wait for the traffic to pass. No, I had to pull out right in front of it. Anyway, so there are a lot of weird laws, and the reason this is important is because there are so many laws out there that you, as a reasonable American, can no longer honestly say that ignorance of the law is no excuse. Now, if there is a law against having sex with a human corpse, and you didn't know that, I really don't think ignorance of the law makes any difference, because you are a twisted person. The same thing for sex with a dead animal. I mean, whether you knew the law existed or not, you're twisted enough, we should probably remove you from the general public for a while. But castrating a bull? Again, that's unusual enough that if you're going to walk up to a bull on the street and say, hey, I think I need to cut its nuts off, you're probably twisted enough that whether you knew the law was there or not, we need to have a talk about your behavior and approach to life, even if it's legal. But there are a lot of things that are just absolutely unreal, you know, and our federal laws are ridiculous. You can't know what's illegal anymore, and a lot of them are what they call strict liability offenses. You don't have to know you're doing something wrong. You don't have to know you're breaking the law. You just have to do it, and hey, it was against the law, so you're hosed. So while these weird laws is an interesting topic, an interesting legal theory, and interesting things to discuss, the basis of it is that there are a lot of laws on the books from 100 years ago that you would not think is illegal, or you would not think is still relevant to today's society. And you could, in fact, be charged with it. Case in point, a 12-year-old playing dodgeball throws a dodgeball, hits a kid on the playground in the face. 12-year-old is then arrested and charged with assault with a weapon. Can it happen? Yes. Is the prosecutor going to take that case? God, I sure hope not. But these are things that can and do happen all the time. And with federal law, man, it goes even crazier. You could have a stock of rare wood that you were found in your grandfather's barn. Well, that wood's illegal to import now, but if you use it, are you now breaking the law? Well, you could be. How about ivory or, old scrimshaw? There are things that we have imported or exported, or you travel out of the country with an ivory brooch, you can't come back in the country with it. So you don't know really what laws you're breaking. And there's a great book, and I'll probably link to it at some point or reference it. Go look it up. The average American commits 3 felonies a day. Yeah, we do. So, yeah, you need to look at that. Anyway, that's it for today. I just want to talk about those 2 really weird laws and what lawyers talk about when we just talk. We talk about weird laws and weird applications of laws. Thanks. Out.